A-list fame, red carpet glam, and jaw-dropping talent. Celebrities seem almost unreal. But beneath the spotlight, some carry hidden physical quirks that set them apart in ways most never notice. From extra fingers to missing bones, these stars prove that perfection isn't a requirement for success. Some of these conditions are subtle, others nearly unbelievable. Here are 15 celebrities with rare and unexpected body deformities that might just change the way you see them forever. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is one of the greatest actors of all time, but did you know he has a permanently bent pinky finger? It's not something you would notice right away, but once you do, it's hard to unsee. His pinky finger is stuck at a 45-degree angle, and the reason for this is actually a childhood injury. When Denzel was younger, he loved playing basketball, but one day during a game, he badly broke his pinky finger. Instead of healing properly, the bone just stayed that way. He never got it fixed, and now, it's just a part of him. He has even joked about it in interviews, sometimes showing it off and making people laugh. Even with this little quirk, it has never affected his career. In fact, most people never even notice it until someone points it out. But now that you know, you might catch it the next time you watch one of his movies. Megan Fox. Megan Fox is known for her stunning looks, but there's something about her hands that people find unusual. Her thumbs. If you take a close look, you'll see that her thumbs are shorter and wider than normal. This is due to a condition called brachydactyly type D, which means her thumb bones didn't grow to full length. Even though it's just a small difference, Megan doesn't like showing her thumbs in close-up shots. In some movies and photo shoots, you'll notice that she cleverly hides them. But honestly, do thumbs even matter when you look like Megan Fox? Most fans agree that it's just a tiny detail in the big picture. Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is a funny guy, and he's never been shy about making fun of himself. That's why when people found out he has webbed toes, he didn't try to hide it. He actually showed them off on TV. Yes, Ashton's toes are partially connected because of a condition called syndactyly. It's not a big deal, and it doesn't affect his walking or movement. He once pulled off his sock in an interview and said, "I have webbed feet like a duck." Instead of being embarrassed, he just laughed about it, which made fans love him even more. This just proves that confidence makes anything cool, even webbed toes. Harry Styles. Harry Styles has millions of fans who adore him. But did you know he has 4 nipples? Yes, that's right, 4. This is because of a harmless condition called polythelia, where extra nipples form along the body's milk lines. It's actually more common than people think, but most people don't even realize they have it. Instead of being shy about it, Harry has fully embraced his extra nipples. He's mentioned them in interviews, joked about them, and even lifted his shirt to show them off a few times. Fans don't find it weird at all. They actually think it's just another reason to love him. Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry, best known as Chandler from Friends, has a little detail that many fans never noticed. He's missing the tip of his middle finger. When Matthew was a kid, he got his finger caught in a door, and unfortunately, part of it was cut off. It's not something that affected his career, and since he rarely talks about it, many people don't even know. Next time you rewatch Friends, keep an eye out. You just might spot it. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is known for his fast-talking, funny characters, but did you know he lost the tip of his right thumb? When he was a teenager, he got into a car accident, and the injury left his thumb permanently shortened. It doesn't affect his acting, and most fans never even notice it. But if you ever shake hands with him, you might feel the difference. Karolina Kurkova. Karolina Kurkova is a famous supermodel. But if you look at her pictures, you might notice something missing: her belly button. She was born with a medical condition that required surgery as a baby, and as a result, her belly button never fully formed. Instead, she has a small, smooth indentation where it should be. In magazine photos, photographers sometimes edit her belly button back in, but in real life, it's just not there. Even without a belly button, she's still one of the most beautiful models in the world. Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton has always had an unusual and striking appearance, and some people believe it's because she has an extra rib. This is a rare condition, and while Tilda has never confirmed it, fans have noticed that her torso looks slightly different from most people's. It doesn't cause any health problems, and if anything, it just adds to her unique beauty. Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler is known for playing tough guys in movies, but in real life, he's had a tough time with his right ear. As a child, he had to undergo surgery that left his ear permanently deformed. It also caused some hearing loss, but that hasn't stopped him from becoming a huge star. Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton was born with 6 fingers on each hand due to a condition called polydactyly, but don't expect to see them in any of her movies. The extra fingers were removed when she was a baby. Instead of being embarrassed, she actually embraces it and talks about it openly. She even says she feels lucky to have been born a little different. Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis has 1 green eye and 1 brown eye because of a condition called heterochromia. It makes her look even more stunning, and many fans find it fascinating. She once revealed that for years she was blind in 1 eye because of an injury, but surgery later restored her vision. Now, her unique eyes are one of her most beautiful features. Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia was actually born with a tiny extra lump on his shoulder, which was the remains of a conjoined twin that never fully developed. Doctors removed it when he was a baby, and it hasn't affected him in any way. It's just one of those strange things that make people unique. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most famous women in the world, but even she hasn't escaped strange internet rumors. One of the weirdest claims? That she has an extra toe on one of her feet. This rumor started when some old photos of Oprah's feet began circulating online. In a few pictures, it looked like she might have an extra 6th toe. People immediately started zooming in, analyzing, and debating whether it was real or just a trick of the camera. But here's the thing. Oprah has never confirmed or denied it. Unlike other celebrities who have talked openly about their unique body features, Oprah has stayed quiet on this one. That makes it even more of a mystery. Could the pictures just be shadows or weird angles? Or does she really have an extra toe? DJ Paul, one of the founding members of 3 6 Mafia, has a right arm that is noticeably smaller than his left. This is because he was born with Erb's palsy, a condition that affects the nerves in the arm, causing limited growth and movement. For most people, having one arm smaller than the other might be something to hide, but not DJ Paul. Instead, he fully embraces it. He even calls it his baby arm, and makes jokes about it in interviews. Instead of seeing it as a flaw, he turned it into something unique about him. Hrithik Roshan, Bollywood superstar. Hrithik Roshan is known for his good looks, dancing skills, and blockbuster movies. But did you know he has a double thumb on his right hand? Hrithik was born with polydactyly, a condition where a person has extra fingers or toes. In his case, he has a small extra thumb attached to his main thumb. It's clearly visible in close-up shots, but instead of removing it, Hrithik chose to keep it as part of who he is. As a child, he used to feel self-conscious about it, but over time, he realized that it made him unique. Now, fans actually love it. Some even believe that his double thumb is a sign of good luck and could be one of the reasons for his success. The world of fame is full of surprises, and these unique traits prove that even celebrities have their own quirks. Whether it's an extra toe or a missing bone, these stars embrace what makes them different and still shine. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more surprising celebrity facts. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
And that led me to a little bit of reading and stuff. And as a friend of Nicole Kidman, I got to know Tom Cruise quite well.
Yeah.
And I was in a video store, and there was like a, $2.50 on sale special video on Scientology.
For years, Tom Cruise has been Hollywood's golden boy, but now some of his biggest co-stars are breaking their silence, and the truth is shocking. Russell Crowe, Brad Pitt, and Val Kilmer have all opened up about their behind-the-scenes experiences with the superstar, revealing the tension, rivalry, and frustration that simmered during filming. From Cruise's controlling nature to clashes on set, this inside look will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the man behind Maverick. Get ready for the drama. Russell Crowe's frustration with Cruise's control. When Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise teamed up for The Mummy in 2017, fans were excited to see these two powerhouse actors share the screen. But what really went on behind the scenes was a lot more complicated than anyone could have imagined. While the movie was expected to launch a new Hollywood franchise, it ended up being a disaster at the box office, and much of the tension can be traced back to one key issue: Cruise's intense need for control. So, What happened on set that caused this clash between two of Hollywood's biggest stars? Was it Cruise's obsessive perfectionism? Or did Crowe feel like he was being sidelined by the constant pressure from Cruise's vision for the film? Cruise, known for his hands-on approach to his projects, is notorious for taking control of almost every aspect of his films, from script changes to post-production decisions. On The Mummy, his perfectionist streak went into overdrive, leaving Crowe feeling frustrated and unheard. The actor, who's famous for his straightforward approach and no-nonsense attitude, reportedly clashed with Cruise over the direction of the movie. Crowe, a seasoned actor, didn't appreciate how Cruise's control over the film stifled the creative process. There was little room left for collaboration or input from anyone else, and Crowe wasn't the only one who felt it. One of the most significant points of tension came from how the characters were handled. Crowe, who played Dr. Henry Jekyll, was reportedly upset about how his role was underdeveloped and overshadowed by Cruise's character. It's said that Crowe began to feel his character wasn't necessary to the plot, and his frustration only grew as the film's production continued. Was Cruise's overpowering presence on set the reason the film couldn't reach its full potential? The real drama, however, seemed to spill out in their physical fight scenes, some of which reportedly took days to film. These intense moments on screen were said to be fueled by real-life frustrations, with insiders claiming that the actors used their fight sequences as a way to blow off steam. But even as tensions boiled over, both actors managed to maintain a professional appearance in public. So, what went wrong? Was it Cruise's obsessive control that ruined the collaboration? Or did Crowe simply not mesh with Cruise's working style? Whatever the reason, The Mummy became one of Hollywood's cautionary tales of how star power and control can sometimes do more harm than good. Creative tensions on The Mummy set. The time Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe joined forces for The Mummy in 2017, many expected a thrilling adventure that would set the stage for a new cinematic universe. Instead, behind the scenes, there were simmering tensions that would ultimately contribute to the film's box office failure. What caused these creative tensions between two of Hollywood's biggest stars? Was it just a clash of egos? Or was there something deeper at play that made the set so fraught? Cruise, known for his intense dedication and perfectionist approach to filmmaking, had a significant amount of control over the project. He was involved in almost every aspect, from the script to the marketing strategy, and his desire for complete creative authority led to a highly charged atmosphere. For someone like Russell Crowe, who is known for being straightforward and unafraid to speak his mind, this level of control was frustrating. Crowe had his own vision for the character of Dr. Henry Jekyll, but Cruise's heavy hand seemed to overshadow everything. It wasn't just the creative control that caused friction, it was the lack of collaboration. As Cruise pushed for his vision to dominate the film, Crowe reportedly felt sidelined. His role as Dr. Jekyll, meant to be one of the movie's key components, started to feel unnecessary. Crowe was frustrated that his character wasn't being given the space to develop, and that led to tension between him and Cruise. Was Cruise's obsession with perfectionism really the reason Crowe felt like an afterthought? But it wasn't just Crowe who felt the strain. The entire production was reportedly marred by creative differences. With so many changes and constant micromanaging, the crew and other cast members also felt the pressure. The team's efforts to make the film an exciting reboot were constantly being reshaped by Cruise's vision. Was this micromanagement the reason The Mummy didn't land with audiences? Could a more collaborative effort have led to a more successful movie? While both actors maintained professionalism in public, behind closed doors, their disagreements were apparent. As The Mummy floundered, many wondered if these creative tensions contributed to the film's lackluster reception. Would these two stars ever team up again? And could The Mummy have been different if the creative process had been handled differently? Only time will tell if Hollywood will see another collaboration like this one. Crowe's loyalty to Nicole Kidman. Russell Crowe's friendship with Nicole Kidman has been one of Hollywood's most enduring and supportive relationships. However, when Kidman's marriage to Tom Cruise fell apart, Crowe's loyalty to his close friend caused a rift between him and Cruise. But what led to Crowe's unwavering support for Kidman? Was it just about standing by a friend in a tough time? Or was there more to it? Could this loyalty have led to a permanent fracture in his relationship with Cruise? When Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's divorce shocked the world in 2001, many speculated about the reasons behind the split. Crowe, who had been close to both Cruise and Kidman during their marriage, found himself caught in the middle. As Kidman was blindsided by the divorce, Crowe became a pillar of support for her. The two shared a deep bond that transcended Hollywood's glittering social circles. Crowe, known for his no-nonsense attitude and fierce loyalty, was determined to stand by Kidman, despite the fallout it might cause with Cruise. What made Crowe's support so significant was the nature of his relationship with Cruise. The two had shared a friendship before, but when Crowe chose to stand by Kidman, it caused a fracture between them. In interviews, Crowe admitted that he went with Nicole after the split, almost jokingly saying he was part of the divorce settlement package. For Crowe, his loyalty to Kidman was a matter of principle, and he didn't want to abandon her during such a painful period. But did his decision to side with her ultimately mean the end of his friendship with Cruise? Over the years, the tension between Crowe and Cruise became more apparent, especially when the two worked together on The Mummy in 2017. While their professional relationship was strained, Crowe's loyalty to Kidman remained unchanged. In fact, it seems to have only strengthened over time. Crowe's loyalty to Kidman wasn't just about supporting her during a tough breakup. It was about standing by a longtime friend, no matter what the cost. Could Crowe's fierce loyalty have been the reason his bond with Cruise was never fully repaired? And will the fallout from their personal lives continue to affect their professional collaborations in the future? What's clear is that Crowe's commitment to Kidman was unwavering, and it had a lasting impact on his relationship with one of Hollywood's most famous stars. Brad Pitt's clashes with Cruise on Interview with the Vampire. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise may have shared the screen in the iconic Interview with the Vampire. But behind the scenes, their relationship wasn't as harmonious as their on-screen chemistry. What really went down between the two megastars during the filming of this 1994 Gothic classic? Was it a clash of personalities? Or did their differences in work ethic cause the tension? Could this have been the beginning of Brad Pitt's long-standing frustration with Cruise? When Brad Pitt was cast alongside Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire, it was seen as a dream pairing. Two of Hollywood's biggest names, playing iconic literary characters in a film directed by Neil Jordan. But as the cameras rolled, cracks began to form in their relationship. According to multiple reports, the two actors clashed not just over the material, but also over their differing approaches to their craft. Tom Cruise, known for his intense perfectionism, was all about control. He had a reputation for being deeply involved in every aspect of his films, from script changes to set details. Brad Pitt, on the other hand, was more laid back and didn't share the same need for micromanagement. As the production went on, Pitt reportedly grew frustrated with Cruise's demanding nature, particularly in scenes that involved their characters' complex relationship. Pitt, who had already established himself as a major star by the early 90s, didn't appreciate Cruise's dominance on set. Sources close to the film suggest that while Pitt was more relaxed in his approach, Cruise pushed for perfection in every scene, which led to tension between the two. Was Cruise's drive for excellence rubbing Pitt the wrong way, or was there something deeper at play? Did their competitive personalities clash more than anyone realized? Despite their differences, both actors remained professional during the filming, but it was clear that their on-set tension had a long-lasting effect on their relationship. Some even wonder if this experience influenced their future collaborations, or lack thereof. Could their clash on Interview with the Vampire have been the beginning of a long-standing rivalry? Was this the turning point that made Pitt wary of working with Cruise again? Their uneasy partnership on set shows that even Hollywood's brightest stars aren't immune to clashes. Could this tension have shaped the rest of their careers? Pitt found Cruise's competitive nature exhausting. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are two of Hollywood's biggest stars, but their personalities couldn't be more different. While both are known for their dedication and intensity, it was Tom Cruise's hyper-competitive nature that Brad Pitt reportedly found exhausting. Was Cruise's constant drive for perfection too much for Pitt to handle? Did their contrasting personalities create more drama than the audience ever knew? From the moment they were cast together in Interview with the Vampire, their different approaches to their craft became clear. Cruise, known for his meticulous attention to detail, and his almost obsessive desire to control every aspect of the film clashed with Pitt's more relaxed, go-with-the-flow attitude. While Cruise would push for endless takes and insist on perfecting every scene, Pitt found this approach draining and unnecessary. For someone like Pitt, who preferred to let the performance come naturally, Cruise's perfectionism was a heavy burden on the set. What made things more difficult was Cruise's intense competitiveness. Not only was he obsessed with ensuring his own performance was flawless, but he also had a tendency to compete with his co-stars in every scene. According to reports, this over-the-top drive to be the best caused a rift between the two actors. Pitt, who had been building his own career at the time, wasn't used to that kind of pressure. His more laid-back demeanor didn't mesh well with Cruise's demand for constant, exhausting excellence. Did Cruise's drive for perfection make working with him a nightmare for his co-stars? Was his competitiveness the true cause of the tension between him and Pitt? These are questions many fans have wondered about over the years. Despite their professionalism, it was clear that Pitt didn't appreciate Cruise's need to be the top dog at all times. This tension undoubtedly contributed to their somewhat awkward on-set dynamic. In the end, while both actors delivered memorable performances in Interview with the Vampire, their working relationship was far from perfect. Was Pitt's exhaustion with Cruise's competitive nature a major factor in their uneasy partnership? Could this clash have shaped their future collaborations, or lack thereof? One thing is clear, not even the most famous of Hollywood stars are immune to personality clashes that can make or break a relationship. Val Kilmer's respect for Cruise. Despite rivalry, Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise might not always have seen eye to eye, but despite their rivalry, Kilmer has always respected Cruise as a professional. Their relationship, marked by tension and competition, didn't stop Kilmer from acknowledging Cruise's dedication to his craft. Could their rivalry have been more about mutual respect than anything else? Was their tension just a part of the intense Hollywood environment? Or did Kilmer genuinely admire Cruise beneath the surface? When Kilmer and Cruise starred together in the iconic Top Gun back in 1986, they were both on the rise in Hollywood. While Kilmer played the charming but cocky Iceman, Cruise was already becoming a household name as Maverick. Behind the scenes, however, the two actors were known for having a tense relationship. Their personalities were quite different. Cruise's energy and drive for perfection clashed with Kilmer's more laid-back, independent attitude. Rumors of rivalry surfaced, and many speculated that the two didn't get along well on set. Yet, despite all the talk of conflict, Kilmer has never been shy about admitting his admiration for Cruise's work ethic and talent. In interviews, Kilmer has praised Cruise for his commitment to his roles and his dedication to filmmaking. Kilmer has also recognized that their differing approaches to acting and filmmaking were just a product of their individual personalities, rather than a reason for dislike. In fact, Kilmer has said that working with Cruise on Top Gun was a valuable experience, even if the rivalry between their characters mirrored the tension that sometimes existed between them off-screen. Does Kilmer's respect for Cruise reveal that their rivalry was overblown? Did their professional differences only fuel the respect they had for each other's craft? The fact that both actors became huge stars in their own right only added to the complexity of their relationship. Despite the competition, Kilmer respected Cruise's ability to make himself a force in Hollywood. Over the years, their relationship seems to have softened, with Kilmer showing genuine appreciation for Cruise's accomplishments, even as their careers have evolved in different directions. The question remains, was their rivalry a mere product of Hollywood pressures, or was there a deeper sense of respect between these two legends? One thing is clear, Kilmer's ability to separate personal rivalry from professional respect has earned him recognition as a true actor's actor. Intense on-screen rivalries reflect real-life tensions. Hollywood has always been known for creating thrilling on-screen rivalries, but sometimes those heated battles go beyond the big screen. What happens when the intense competition between characters mirrors real-life tensions? Can actors truly separate their professional conflicts from their personal ones? Or does the line blur? Is it possible that some of Hollywood's most famous on-screen feuds were fueled by real-life animosities? Take, for example, the well-documented rivalry between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer during the making of Top Gun. On screen, they played rival fighter pilots, Maverick and Iceman, engaged in a battle for dominance. Their characters could hardly stand each other, and the audience loved it. But behind the scenes, it was rumored that the tension between them wasn't just for show. Their competing personalities led to a real-life clash that left many wondering how much of their on-screen animosity was drawn from their personal differences. Similarly, the relationship between Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise on the set of The Mummy in 2017 was anything but friendly. Crowe, known for his no-nonsense attitude, reportedly grew frustrated with Cruise's perfectionist behavior. While Cruise pushed for complete control over the film's direction, Crowe struggled to keep up with the pressure. Their on-screen collaboration became strained, and many wondered if the creative tensions were a direct result of their personal disagreements. Was Crowe's frustration with Cruise more about their personalities than the roles they were playing? In both cases, the on-screen drama took on a life of its own, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. While many actors can switch off their rivalry once the cameras stop rolling, others struggle to separate the two. The pressure of working in such a high-stakes industry can intensify these feelings. So, what happens when the characters you play begin to reflect the personal tensions you feel? Are the intense battles we see in films a reflection of real emotions, or are they simply a product of professional competition? When looking at these iconic on-screen rivalries, it's hard not to wonder, how many of Hollywood's greatest feuds were simply scripted moments that ended up revealing more about the actors than anyone could have anticipated? Scientology's influence on personal and professional relationships. Tom Cruise's strong connection to Scientology has long been a topic of fascination, but how much has it really influenced his personal and professional relationships? Is it possible that Scientology has shaped not just his career, but also the way he interacts with friends, family, and even co-stars? Could this controversial religion be behind some of the most talked-about moments in Cruise's life, including his high-profile marriages and Hollywood feuds? Cruise has long been one of the most outspoken celebrities about his faith, which has sparked both admiration and criticism. His involvement with Scientology has often been linked to his personal relationships, most notably his marriages to actresses Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes. When Cruise and Kidman divorced in 2001, rumors swirled that Scientology played a role. Kidman, who had been introduced to the religion by Cruise, reportedly began distancing herself from the church, which allegedly led to tension in their marriage. Some even speculated that Scientology encouraged Cruise to end his marriage, viewing Kidman as a threat to his devotion. While these claims have never been confirmed, they continue to fuel speculation about how the church influenced his personal decisions. But it's not just his romantic relationships that have been affected by Scientology. Cruise's professional relationships with co-stars have also been impacted by his strong ties to the church. For instance, Russell Crowe has publicly denied rumors that Cruise tried to recruit him into Scientology. But it's hard to ignore the potential discomfort some actors may feel working alongside someone so closely connected to the controversial religion. It's even been reported that some Hollywood insiders avoid doing business with Cruise due to his unwavering support for Scientology, especially when it comes to production companies with ties to the church. Even outside of the entertainment industry, Scientology's grip on Cruise's life has sparked debates. His public support of the religion has led some to question his decisions, both in his personal life and career. Could Scientology's influence have caused him to alienate loved ones or make career choices that ultimately led to backlash? And what happens when someone's faith becomes a public spectacle? Does it change how the world sees them? When it comes to Tom Cruise, the impact of Scientology on his personal and professional life remains a mystery for many. But one thing's for sure, it's left an indelible mark on both. Cruise's reputation for perfectionism. Tom Cruise is famous for many things: his daredevil stunts, his blockbuster movies, and of course, his legendary perfectionism. But is his relentless pursuit of perfection what truly makes him stand out? Or is it causing tension behind the scenes? Could Cruise's obsession with getting every detail just right actually be sabotaging his relationships with co-stars and crew members? Cruise's reputation for perfectionism is no secret. From the moment he steps onto set, it's clear that nothing is left to chance. Whether it's performing his own death-defying stunts in Mission Impossible or meticulously overseeing every aspect of his films, Cruise demands nothing less than the best. It's this drive that has helped him build an incredible career, making him one of Hollywood's most successful and bankable stars. But, as with any extreme trait, there's a flip side. Many of his co-stars and colleagues have shared stories of how Cruise's perfectionism can be exhausting. His desire for everything to be flawless often leads to intense pressure on set, and not everyone is a fan of his highly involved approach. For example, during the filming of The Mummy in 2017, reports surfaced that Cruise's micromanagement led to tension with co-stars like Russell Crowe. Crowe, who is known for his straightforward personality, was reportedly frustrated by Cruise's hands-on control over nearly every aspect of the movie. It's clear that Cruise's need for precision and excellence can sometimes clash with the creative freedom that other actors or directors might want. But is this perfectionism the reason behind some of Cruise's past Hollywood feuds? His competitive nature has also been linked to his intense desire to always be at the top, which can alienate those around him. Brad Pitt, who worked with Cruise on Interview with the Vampire, has hinted at their differences, noting that Cruise's need to always be the best sometimes left little room for collaboration or relaxed camaraderie. Could Cruise's single-minded focus on being perfect actually drive people away instead of bringing them together? While his perfectionism has undoubtedly contributed to his massive success, it's also clear that it's not always easy to work with someone who demands such high standards. Is Cruise's perfectionism ultimately a blessing or a curse? For some, it's what makes him a Hollywood legend. For others, it's a source of tension that might make him a difficult person to collaborate with. Hollywood's polarizing view of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is one of Hollywood's biggest stars, but his reputation is anything but straightforward. While many fans admire his incredible talent, work ethic, and dedication to his roles, others have a very different view of him. What makes Tom Cruise so polarizing in Hollywood? Is he a beloved icon, or is his fame built on a foundation of controversies and clashing personalities? For decades, Cruise has been both a box office powerhouse and a figure surrounded by intrigue. His dedication to performing his own stunts in films like Mission: Impossible has earned him admiration from many, establishing him as a fearless actor willing to risk it all for the sake of his roles. However, his perfectionism and intensity on set have also sparked frustration among colleagues. Reports of Cruise's micromanagement style and controlling behavior have made some question whether his on-set attitude has alienated those around him. Is his drive for excellence creating unnecessary tension in his relationships with co-stars? Another reason for the divided opinions about Cruise is his outspoken involvement with Scientology. As one of the most high-profile members of the Church of Scientology, Cruise has often faced criticism for using his celebrity status to promote the controversial religion. His public support for Scientology, combined with his past rifts with co-stars like Brooke Shields and his divorces linked to the church's influence, has caused some to view him as arrogant or out of touch. How much of his personal life is shaped by Scientology? And has it negatively affected his Hollywood career? Despite the controversies, Cruise's career has remained remarkably strong. His movies continue to gross billions, and his star power remains intact. However, there are still those who refuse to work with him due to his strong views and demanding nature. While his supporters praise his commitment to perfection, others feel that working with Cruise can be exhausting. So, is Tom Cruise a misunderstood genius? Or is his fame simply a result of Hollywood's willingness to overlook his flaws for the sake of box office success? The real question is, how much longer can Cruise maintain his reputation as a Hollywood legend in the face of growing backlash? Will his polarizing nature eventually take a toll on his career, or will he continue to dominate the industry despite the controversy?